Hello everybody and welcome back to BTD3 here on the channel. As you can see, I have been very busy with this game. I have completed hard mode on 6 of the 8 tracks, and I know it doesn't make a lot of sense because I did this one first, but let me just put it this way, this took like 6 attempts. And you're like, why didn't I make a video on it? Because I really wasn't changing the strategy that I was using to get the rest of the golds. I did a lot of looking online and basically found a strategy that was my style, but also like using towers that other people were saying to use, which is either the boomerang or the tack shooter. Now, I think I used boomerang when I completed this one in hard mode, but for these other two, it's going to basically just be the tack shooter. So we're going to get started. And if you've been enjoying BTD, do me a favor and hit the like button and the subscribe button to help the channel grow. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to just put down 2 dart monkeys and kind of just let them deal with the first couple of waves so we can start making some money for tack shooters. Now this is a very weird track. I'm kind of trying to think probably one here, one there, one there, one there, one there, and then we can just kind of start growing. This is literally the opposite of all of my strats for BTD2. BTD2 was more of a quality of the tower, placement especially, over quantity. And this game is more quantity over quality, at least from what I've seen. Because obviously the highest quality would be towers like the Super Monkey and the Monkey Beacon, and this game, not so much. You really want to just spam, cheaper towers. And it's weird because it's not what you're trained to do from like BTD 6 and 5, where you basically just want to, like any tower will do, but I guess in and of itself it shows progression in the game franchise, which is kind of interesting to watch. Now this first placement of this tack shooter wasn't great. Again, I've never tried this map. It's not like I've tested an idea on it. But probably the next one I'm just going to put here because this was the best place, obviously, for it. And as you can see, the tack shooters, if you've watched any of my videos on BTD 3, the tack shooters aren't great. They don't appear great, I should say, but in waves, they almost seem to... So when you pop a balloon in this, there's invulnerability frames, from what it basically looks like. There are moments after you pop the balloon where you won't be able to immediately pop the balloon again. I'm referring to them as immunity or invulnerability frames because that's what they're called in like all of the beat 'em ups and stuff. When your character gets like a couple of moments to basically collect itself, that's what they're called. They're invulnerability frames. Now, if you see it in this, they obviously exist when that white little thing pops up. That's kind of the invulnerability frame. And they almost seem to glitch when you have a ton of tack shooters right next to each other. That's the best way I can word it. And especially when they're fully upgraded tack shooters, the blade shooters that have less of a chance of missing their shots. As you can see right there, did you see how 2 darts came in, one hit it, the other one just went right through it? That's what I'm talking about. Now, basically how this strat works, how I'm describing it, is it overloads the invulnerability frames and almost seems to pop the balloons at a speed that should make sense. And I'll show you what I mean because these waves really start getting obnoxious, and if you have a ton of tack shooters, they just really aren't. Like I might have to do a spam of road spikes at the end of it, but we'll see. And obviously I'm hoping that this will be a 1 attempt thing and we can move on. 2 more videos on this, 1 more video after this one on the one with the dart monkey in like the sand. It can actually fit way more than 5 or than 4 here. And then that's it for BTD3. We'll be done with half of the franchise, but half the franchise that starts with a 10-minute and then like a half an hour and then like an hour to 4 hours, and now we're going to the ones where it's like it'll take you the rest of your life to finish this game. Now, I need to start upgrading because I need to have a cannon tower by like wave 26. And I am just going to let the balloons go through as long as they're not going to basically wipe me out. I don't care. But I do want to get one of these done, maybe even two. That way I actually have some popping potential. It's like the other thing I figured out is the thing you really want to have is the range, actually. I almost feel like the range is more important than this top upgrade. And why did I do the top upgrade first? Because I'm stupid and half asleep. Okay, super range. Now, as you can see, did you see the one green balloon go from a green balloon immediately to a red balloon? None of these towers have 2 popping strength. They're all 1 pop towers. So that's what I'm getting at. It usually wouldn't happen, but the tack shooters almost appear to glitch the invulnerability frame. And that's what I'm basically banking on to win. And it's worked. I mean, it's not like I've attempted multiple attempts on every one of these levels. It's been basically 1 attempt each time. Besides the last one. So, I mean, look at that. That just... Usually I'd get overloaded by yellows, and they just got turned into 1 green that got through. But now we need to deal with the next step of this defense, which is the bomb shooter. And what I usually do is I do a bomb shooter and then I do a tack shooter right in front of it to deal with the black balloons when they come through because they're immune to explosives. Now, being hard difficulty, the cost of a cannon is obnoxious, but it's, not something we're going to be too concerned about because, again, I have done this method about these 10 times, so I kind of know what I'm doing at this point. And if I lose, well then just know that it's the definition of I probably upgraded something when I shouldn't have and should have saved it for spikes. The other great thing about this strat is that with the tack shooters, there really isn't a science to the best place of putting them down. Not like the boomerang monkeys where I almost felt like if you didn't put them in the right spot, you were going to have problems. So let's get a tack shooter in front of the cannon, and this will get upgraded. The cannon is not going to get upgraded until basically the end. Especially considering it's a 1 path. That's the other thing, I saved only 1 path levels, so it shouldn't really be that difficult. But if you see right there, that tack shooter just missed everything. So I said they are an abysmal tower. But, look at that. Only 1 yellow got out. See that, though? And actually, it's even worse, because recently I've been working on a ton of games now that I can work on games again. I lost in BTD4 when I was grinding on a map, because a lead balloon literally just went through. It wasn't even 1, it was 4. Went through a cannon shooter, just right through it. And it got hit multiple times, and it didn't pop. So I just lost. So, we're obviously not dealing with perfect games. But as you can see, this is really just ripping apart all the balloons. And that's kind of the thing. It's really just about dealing as much damage as fast as possible and trying to overload those invulnerability frames. And I might end up moving this tack shooter, but I don't know quite yet if I want to. Because it depends on if I can fit another one in between here. I don't think I'll be able to, so I might move it. And the dart monkey will probably be getting moved down here. And yeah, it costs a lot of money to move the towers, but I've been averaging plus 5,000 money at the end of every single one of these playthroughs, so I'm really not concerned about money. It's more of making sure I have the money when I need to do spams of road spikes. Which I think the first Moab is wave 36, and that is the first time that I really need to make sure that I have stuff to spam road spikes. So, yeah, I can't fit another one in there. Close, but nope. So we are just going to delete that one. That way we can just continue this line of destruction on these balloons. And probably will do 2 more tack shooters here. The other problem is that this is a very limited location. It only can hit these 2 spots, whereas over here it can hit more. So I might put another one here and then go back to working on this. As you can see, it didn't pop all of the leads, and this is going to cause a problem. The good news is I do have some money for road spikes. And basically, from everything that I saw on the internet, there's no shame of using road spikes. Everybody basically does. Especially for these older games, you really need to just, embrace the fact that you might need to spam pineapples or road spikes and just do it. Now this will probably be a very powerful tack shooter because it actually is going to line up well with the lines, and I didn't pop all of the leads again. But that's fine because this will, and we should be fine in terms of damage. Yeah. Didn't waste nearly as much money that time around. Need to get rid of that one. And then I need to start saving money for the Moab. I probably should start putting some tack shooters just in here in general. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll sell this dart monkey. And I'll put a tack shooter here. And this will still help with this line, but it'll also... You see how, nice that is, though? That was ceramics, and they're just gone. So we've already got a nice line of tack shooters that should be able to get us through anything. And there's only 6 of them. I usually end up with, nearly 20. But I do just want to get some popping. Really? I can't place one here? Okay. I just want to get some popping on both lines just in case they start to go through. And then I should probably, instead of putting a tack shooter here, I should probably just put a cannon tower here. There, now even this one can touch clear up here. So just look at that. And then you'd think I'd be like, okay, we need to get some stuff down. No, it's fine. Nothing to worry about. Okay, so 3 more waves and then we have our first Moab. And I do want to get a bomb shooter. Let's put it here. And this one I'll have target last. And then that one will target first, and that should increase the potential to pop leads. Well, that looks like a big wave of problems, but it's really nothing. Even with only 4 tack shooters being able to hit over there. And I'm just going to save money for the Moab, because the Moabs, there's really no good tower in this game to take out the Moabs. You just are going to road spike it. And that can be annoying because of the fact that if it gets outside of this range of all these towers, then it's going to be a problem. That's why I want to start putting them here. Yeah, that's better. Right through the leads. Okay. And now this next one is the Moab. Now in this case, I'm actually going to prepare a road spike set because there's no reason for me not, because it can only come down one area. You can see that's literally the best route. And it is going to take some extra road spikes because I didn't get them popped in time for the tacks to actually deal the damage. And that's the issue, is those those Moabs, they don't just sit there and let the tack shooters deal them the damage that you need them to deal. They move. So you end up wasting a ton of money on road spikes, which is why you need to save a ton of money before those waves. So 1 more tack shooter after this, and then I will probably start not putting down tack shooters until I have a 500 money surplus, and then start upgrading them. But I do need another 5. Probably put a couple in here too. Yeah, that's nothing. Those are ceramics again, so they should have been dangerous, but they really weren't that bad. Okay. This is literally one of the best strats that I've basically seen on the internet. I think they used more of a mix of. Well, I mean, it's not even just them. It's like, I think Gamer Addict or Game Addict, I think was one of the people I was watching for stuff. They have a ton of videos on BTD. And I was basically like looking at their strat, and their strat was embracing this like setup with boomerangs and more than a couple bomb shooters and then some tack shooters. And I was like, because at first all I was doing was just monkey beacon, but I knew that wasn't going to work. And I really didn't know how these tack shooters were supposed to really be used. And then I watched some like stuff, read some guides, and I'm like, I'm just going to spam tack shooters and see what happens. I'm a very simple man. But that was how we got to this strat, which is watching basically a billion tack shooters do all the hard work and thinking for you. And obviously the most annoying thing is when like a black balloon gets through, because then you're sitting there like, oh geez, here we go. Here comes two yellows out of nowhere. But that's fine. So far, nothing that bad here. And the leads are finally getting consistently popped. But before, this would have ruined me. This would have required a monkey storm, and I would have been losing 850 per use. Like, here's 100 yellows right after 9 browns. Sorry, it is level 42 after all. So we'll just put down another tack shooter. And now we have enough money for Moabs, so there's not a problem. And, like, look at that. That might actually require some road spikes. It's going to, but no big deal. The yellows are nothing. It's the stupid ceramics. We'll put down another tack shooter. And I just want to make sure that a Moab isn't going to sneak its way through, because there are some parts where just a Moab will just randomly appear and you're like, oh, well, I lose. Let's get another tack shooter here. And the ceramics in this game are also a problem, because sometimes ceramics just go right through your whole defense without taking a lot of damage. And it's stupid, because that's not supposed to be how it works. But, like, I don't know how else to word it besides that. And I think now we're at a point where there's basically nothing that can hurt us. Yeah, if a Moab escapes, it's game over. Okay, so that's probably a good time to only do one of these, because now we still have 844, and get ready for road spikes. Very powerful defense. And none of them, so I guess we can put down another road spike at the start of the map, just to increase our lines of damage. Oh, there's one. Thought so. Boom. That is literally the best option I have available. I have tested multiple towers. I think like the boomerang does decently enough against it. And if you get like enough tack shooters in the right locations and just let the thing go all the way basically to the end of your map, that'll work. If you're into, you know, checking your parachute after you jump out of the airplane. Don't do that. Okay, and then the game starts to kind of lag a bit, but then once the frames catch up, it's fine, and then should be no problem. I'm going to continue with this plan of taking advantage of why does it keep saying I can put, okay. Continue this plan of attack shooters down the center here. And I'm sure somebody would basically ask me, like, why don't you get a monkey beacon now? That way you just have one prepared. Yeah, I could, but that's no fun. There. Get the road spikes. And really, as you can see, like, some of the ceramics are still barely dealt damage. Now I think they're all finally popped. But that's the bigger problem that I've been noticing. And now we're getting some frames back, so that should help with being able to actually pop the balloons. And gone. See? And one right here. And then we can put one more down. And this is literally for nothing more than guarantees. Because as you can see, even like the white and black balloons can't get past basically here. A ceramic will get all the way to like here. Leads get popped like in here range. And we're basically fine. It's just getting through, and then you can really see the money just start piling up, and it's like, really? Like, oh yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's not actually that difficult of a game once you find a strat that works. The issue is none of these towers feel strong, so you don't have faith in them at the starts, and in like those 20, like the 20 waves and stuff like that. So you second guess yourself, you end up restarting. You need to basically realize pretty quick that the Spike-a-Pult and the Ice Ball are absolutely worthless. And Boomerang, Tack, Bomb. You can use the Monkey Beacon. I don't even think the Super Monkeys are worth it. They just don't feel like they deal enough. Or more importantly, they probably feel like that because they don't remove the invulnerability stuff because they don't fire fast enough or at a fast enough rate. So that's probably why I don't feel like they're that strong. But as you can see, once they're down here, it's like, yeah, bye. It's very satisfying to watch like this all get just turned to one lower every single time. That is a very large amount of balloons coming through, and then they're all gone. Now, I think just because of how that looked, I am going to put down a Monkey Beacon. I'll put it right here, and I am just going to... That costs a lot of money. I'm just going to set it up like that. Get some road spikes prep just in case. I don't even know if I'm going to use it. I might even just use it for the sake of it. And I know I said I wasn't going to, but it just, why bother losing, right? Take the worry from losing. In fact, I can literally just call Monkey Storms like right now, wipe out everything. There's the Moabs. Both popped. But as you can see, I didn't really need it. So anyways, guys, this was track 3 on hard mode. Next video will be track 5. If you have enjoyed BTD3, do me a favor, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Let me know some games you'd like to see take the place of some of the Bloons Tower Defense games once they're completed. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.